Hello everyone, welcome back. It's October. It's horror season, spooky season, whatever you want to call it. I'm very excited because I have a whole heap of new horror Blu Rays to show you. There has been sales going on recently. I said to myself a few months ago, at the beginning of October, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get a list together. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get in a load of really good quality horror Blu-rays of movies that I don't own, and of great horror movies. I created this list. This video is definitely going to be split into two parts. So this is part one. I think we have 9 Blu-rays here, mainly from SecondSight Films, who are great. But these are actually my first. These will be my first SecondSight Films Blu-rays, which is quite nice. But we do have a load, predominantly 70s and 80s. 70s supernatural, 70s kind of nastiness, and a little bit of 80s fun slasher as well in this particular pile that I have right here for part one of Morgan's Movie Collection Horror Edition 2022, I suppose we're going to call this. Let's start with a couple from 88 Films Slasher Classics Collection. And we will start with number 41 in that collection from 1980. It is Terror Train. That's a horrible glare. Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis. This is a great cover. I mean, look at this. One thing I do love about these 88 Films Slasher Classics collection, of which these two that I have here are my first purchases in that collection, is this red case. I love this red case. It's thinner, it's very distinctive. The spine's very distinctive, the spine numbers all there, they got the year and the title. Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis. I've never seen Terror Train. There are a few of these that I have seen, and a couple that I haven't, which is always nice to get some familiarity and some, once you've heard things about, maybe even some blind buys. That can be rewarding sometimes as a Blu-ray collector. Blind buys, like you just come across a title, maybe, a certain company who you really like. I really happen to like Indicator. I think Indicator are the best of the kind of special edition Blu-ray companies, the limited edition, the boutique Blu-ray companies, as people call them. For my money, for my opinion, so far in my, compared to some people, not horrendously large boutique Blu-ray collection, Indicator have been my favourite company, I think. But that's just my tastes. That's my tastes and what they deliver, I think. Anyway, Terror Train. I'll read the back if I can read the back. Why do I always struggle to read the back? I really should put my glasses on for these things, shouldn't I? I should. I know I like to kind of sit here and take some time and just, chill out a bit. But I really should put my glasses on so I can actually read these things properly. Slasher Classics Collection. Take a train journey into terror with Jamie Lee Curtis in this classic slasher film from director Roger Spottiswoode. It's New Year's Eve and a bunch of college co-eds have planned a masquerade bash aboard a chartered train. What they didn't plan for was that a knife-wielding psycho would crash the party and begin slaughtering the guests one by one. Who is this mysterious, costumed killer? Could it be the magician, David Copperfield? That's interesting. I've actually been to a David Copperfield show years and years ago in Las Vegas. It was very bizarre. But I kind of like magic like that, so. Oh, it's a good memory, actually, that, realising David Copperfield's in this movie. We went as a family, so my parents actually managed to get involved in the show, which was like be on stage with David Copperfield, which was pretty significant, I thought. So anyway, David Copperfield with a talent for swordplay. Is it a former frat pledge with an axe to grind, or any number of other guests, both invited and uninvited? Also starring Academy Award winner Ben Johnson, Hart Buckner, and D.D. Winters. Quite a good deal of features as well, actually, on Terror Train. So high definition transfer, soundtrack, optional subtitles, commentary with the Hysteria Continues podcast team. Okay. You get an audio commentary with film journalist Dave Wayne and Matty Budowitz. All Aboard interview with production designer Glenn Bidwell. Destination Death with producer Daniel Grodnick. Murder Music with composer John Mills Cockle. Riding the Rails with production executive Don Carmody, a stills gallery, a TV spot, theatrical trailer, and a reversible sleeve. Now, I have checked all the reversible sleeves of the ones of these today that have reversible sleeves, and in this instance, I've decided to just go with what was on there. It says Slasher Classics Collection. It was a bit of a nicer thing. I think the reversible sleeve, if I remember right, was the original poster. It is. Unfortunately, you can't see it like through there. That's just a red kind of case. But first off, Terror Train. Yes, I'll definitely be watching these, in the next few weeks as well, before the month of October is up, certainly. And I'm excited to watch the ones I haven't. Definitely, Terror Train. And second and last in the 88 Films Slasher Classics collection, a movie I have seen, a nasty 70s slasher movie. It is Alice, Sweet Alice, with just a lovely poster on the front of this. Again, I've gone for the actual original design of this Blu Ray rather than the reversible, which I think was actually its alternate title, which I forget the name of now, unless I can read it. Holy Terror. Holy Terror is the alternate title for Alice, Sweet Alice. If you haven't seen Alice, Sweet Alice, it is a really interesting, the kind of different type of slasher. So obviously that creepy mask is a pretty good image from this movie, but it's a really great kind of early slasher, because it's 1976, so it is not, Terror Train is prime slasher years. 1976 is not prime. This is still early slasher years, and it has a lot of that 70s kind of grungy, grimy feeling to it. When 10-year-old Karen Brooke Shields, in her first screen appearance, is killed in church on the occasion of her first communion, her seemingly innocent older sister Alice becomes the prime suspect. Matters become complicated as more of Alice's family members are attacked, along with residents of her apartment building. Can a 12-year-old girl be capable of such mayhem, or is someone else with a vicious plan destroying her family? Features here, we have a 2K scan and restoration, which is nice. Restored original mono audio, optional subtitles, audio commentary by the director Alfred Soule and the editor Edward Salier. That's quite good. Original trailer, a communion TV spot, a poster and home video artwork gallery, a restoration comparison, and the reversible sleeve, like I said before. Very nice. Alice, Sweet Alice. It's great. I might just watch this again this year as well. I can't remember when I watched it for the first time. It wasn't that long ago. Might have been last year. In fact, certainly a lot of these Second Sight ones, or quite a number of them, I did actually watch for the first time last year. And now a year later have found the Blu Rays of them and found the great Blu Rays of them. But yes, I like it. Alice, Sweet Alice. And I like these 88 film slasher collection. They look really nice together. The spine numbered as well. Alice, Sweet Alice is number 35. I don't think I've had a look through them. I've kind of got a couple more, maybe 3 more on my wish list. A lot of them are quite schlocky movies by the looks of it, which is fair enough when you consider the slasher genre. But I do certainly want a couple more of them, a few more of them. Let's get into the Second Sight Blu Rays now, and these are really beautiful. They are black cases. They are really nice to look at all together. Even though they are not kind of aesthetically the same as those 88 slasher classics were. These black cases on these Second Sight Blu Rays really do make them stand out, I think. First off, we have a movie that... How do I not own this movie? How do I not own this movie? This is one of my truly favourite horror movies ever. I love it so much. It holds the title of being my favourite ever movie-going experience as well, like in a cinema. Watching this movie with one of its stars, then getting to meet the star afterwards and having her sign this very poster, ReAnimator, is just the best. I love ReAnimator so very much, and I'm so happy to finally own it. I don't need to get into how great ReAnimator is. It's nonsense, it's bizarre, it's absolutely crazy. It is the most over-the-top gloriousness of 80s nonsense you've ever seen, and is just the best, and should be watched by everybody who loves having fun with horror movies, as well as, loves unnecessary levels of gore as well, and stupidness, and just nonsense. Nonsense is fun. This comes with a great amount of features as well. I mean, this is lovely. The inside of this, I mean, it's 2 discs, so I think it's dual format. Or it's not actually dual format. It's 2 discs, so there's 2 discs. One there and one there. I think it is a reversible sleeve as well. The reversible sleeve is... Well, it isn't that, and that was just... It's got to be that. It's got to be that, really, hasn't it? Look at it. It's perfect. It's the exact same as my actual signed Barbara Crampton poster as well, which is quite nice. Anyway, the features, you get the unrated version, a brand new 4K restoration of that. You get the integral version, exclusive to this Blu-ray. I can't read this with the light I've got at the moment. An audio commentary with the director Stuart Gordon, an audio commentary with producer Brian Usner and actors Jeffrey Combs, Robert Sampson, Barbara Crampton, and Bruce Abbott. So that is literally, you get a director's commentary and a director with and a commentary with the producer and all the major actors. You get the ReAnimator Resurrects documentary. You get interviews with Stuart Gordon and Brian Usner, writer Dennis Powley, composer Richard Band, and Fangoria editor Tony Timpone. Extended scenes, deleted scene, and trailers, and a gallery. Yes, ReAnimator, it's so good. It's my favourite. It's one of my favourites. It really, really is. I'm so happy to finally own ReAnimator in such a nice Blu-ray as well. Similarly to ReAnimator, very, very similarly to ReAnimator, we have 1986's From Beyond. which is everybody made ReAnimator and then came straight back and made another bizarre Lovecraft movie, From Beyond. A movie I haven't seen. Now, I'm very excited to obviously watch this because of how much I love ReAnimator, and it's just as good on the features front as well. It looks great. I mean, it's just as crazy. It's ReAnimator goes again. ReAnimator rides it. It's not ReAnimator goes again because there's ReAnimator sequels, but it's everybody who was involved in ReAnimator literally making another crazy Lovecraft movie, which is just the most exciting thing. The features for From Beyond. In fact, I might read the back of From Beyond. From the team that brought you the gloriously perverse ReAnimator comes another H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, the equally surreal horror classic From Beyond. Obsessive scientist Dr. Pretorius, a nice bride of Frankenstein reference there, and his assistant Crawford Thillingast, what a fantastic name, have invented the Resonator, a device intended to stimulate the brain's pineal gland and expand the powers of the mind. The machine gives them more than they bargained for, however. A parallel universe inhabited by creatures ready to prey on humans reveals itself. Pretorius meets a sticky end, only to return as a grotesque being, and all manner of depravity ensues. Perfect, in my opinion. The features here, we have Stuart Gordon on From Beyond, Gothic adaptation, an interview with writer Dennis Powley, The Doctor is in, an interview with Barbara Crampton, Monsters and Slime, the effects of From Beyond, the director's perspective, the editing room, Lost and Found, interview with the composer, commentary with Stuart Gordon, Brian Usner and Jeffrey Combs, photo montage, and a storyboard to film comparison. That sounds very interesting. I love it. Look at all those features. So great. From Beyond, yes. Does this one have 2 discs? No, it has 1 disc. And this one actually isn't a reversible sleeve, so you are stuck with this beautiful design. From Beyond. Now, do we get into 70s nastiness and 70s supernatural? Yes, of course we do for the rest of the video. When a Stranger Calls, 1979. Yes, a movie I did watch for the first time last year and really was taken aback because it was so far from what I thought it was, and I appreciated it way more for being what it actually is, in that grimy mystery kind of movie that just makes you feel deeply uncomfortable, than a slasher movie. The opening is the perfect horror short that it is well known to be. But the rest of the movie is just it takes a turn, but it goes in a direction that you just don't think it's going to go at in terms of how it wants to tell its story. And the fact we follow, for the vast majority of this movie, the creep, the stranger, the completely unhinged weirdo who, stalks Carol Kane over the phone. And we just feel so uncomfortable. It is a brilliant movie. And I might very well, like I said, just watch it again in the next few weeks. Features we get with When a Stranger Calls. Brand new scanner restoration. We get the sequel with it, which is When a Stranger Calls Back. I think that's from the early 90s. A TV movie, I think. In HD. So that's good as well. So you actually get 2 movies with this, which is even better. A new scan and restoration of the original short film, The Sitter. Brilliant. Directing a Stranger, an interview with the director Fred Walton, Carol Kane on When a Stranger Calls, Rutanya Alda on When a Stranger Calls, Scoring a Stranger, an interview with composer Dana Kaproff, a reversible sleeve with new artwork, which is this actually. This is the new artwork, so yes, we like this. It's the reversible sleeve is the original poster, which I thought this was nicer. And then English subtitles for the hearing impaired for both films. 2 movies, let's not forget, is in When a Stranger Calls, 1979. Yes, success. Next up we have another movie from 1979 and another movie I watched for the first time last year. And I've spoke about this on a couple of Monday Madness episodes recently, I think. Definitely quite a number of times over the past kind of few weeks. It's David Cronenberg's The Brood, with Oliver Reed and Samantha Eggar, which I again just think is a really bizarre, nasty 70s movie, and body horror at its most grotesque, but also interesting because it's Cronenberg and you have to have that mix. And all the broodlings, the children of the rage, or whatever Oliver Reed refers to, the children of her rage, that's exactly what he refers to them as, are just really unsettling. It's a great movie. It's another brilliant movie. I want to watch it again this year. Definitely to kind of get more out of it, because I put it on for the first time last year, knowing very, very little, knowing virtually nothing, other than the fact that it was a Cronenberg body horror movie with Oliver Reed. That's basically all I knew. And I wanted to kind of open myself up to more Cronenberg, and I have opened myself up to more Cronenberg even this year already. So I kind of want to give this a second watch and get more into it, because I really enjoyed it when I did watch it. Very much so. I'll read the back. The Brood is one of David Cronenberg's most chilling and disturbing works, as shocking today as it was when it was originally released. Frank Carveth is becoming increasingly concerned about his ex-wife Nola's secretive treatment at the sinister Summer-Free Institute of Psychoplasmics, headed by cult figure Dr. Raglan. The doctor's controversial and extreme methods seek to unleash his patient's rage, often taking on physical manifestations. As Frank delves deeper, he's finally led to a horrific and repellent final confrontation. It's a mystery as well. I mean, the mystery of what exactly Oliver Reed's doing, what exactly is committing these murders, what exactly is going on with Samantha Eggar. It's a very, very compelling movie, and a twisted one, and this is why I'm so into it. Features here, we have Meet the Carveths, stars Art Hindle and Cindy Hines. Have I got this wrong? Is this not Samantha? When it is Samantha Eggar, I thought I was losing my mind there. They're interviewed by Fangoria editor Chris Alexander. The Look of Rage, an interview with cinematographer Mark Irwin. Producing The Brood, interview with producer Pierre David. Character for Cronenberg, interview with actor Robert A. Silverman. Cronenberg, the early years. Writer-director David Cronenberg discusses how he broke into filmmaking. Very nice little bunch of features as well for The Brood. We like that. Again, no reversible sleeve for this one, but yes, The Brood. And next we have the Amityville Horror, which I just love this. I mean, I love this poster. I love this artwork. Again, this is not a reversible sleeve. I love this. I love the text. I know it's kind of like, it could come across as cheesy, that little devil tail on the H, but it just works so well. It works so well. 70s, supernatural. The house is the real evil one. Greatness in the Amityville Horror. James Brolin, Margot Kidder, the original one. Rod Steiger. Is this 79 as well? It is. How have I got 3 movies back to back to back here from 1979? What's going on? Craziness. Anyway, we're all familiar with the Amityville Horror. James Brolin goes a little bit insane in his new house. That's the point. Because the house might be evil. The house is definitely evil. Bonus features here. You get an absolute load of stuff. Brolin Thunder, a new interview with James Brolin. Child's Play, a new interview with actor Mino Pelus. Amityville Scribe, a new interview with screenwriter Sander Stern. The Devil in the Music, a new interview with soundtrack composer Lalo Schifrin. My Amityville Horror, feature-length documentary with Daniel Lutz. For God's Sake, Get Out, which is a great line. Look at the tagline. For God's Sake, Get Out. We love that. Where was I now? Featuring James Brolin and Margot Kidder, which I think must just be some sort of featurette. Intro by Dr. Hans Holzer, PhD in parapsychology, author of Murder in Amityville. Very nice. Audio commentary by Dr. Hans Holzer. Original trailer, TV spot, radio spots, and new optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Lovely. Lovely Amityville. Yes, we're going to put the Amityville Horror on. It's been a long time since I watched the movie. I will be honest with you. Years since I've watched Amityville Horror. And I'm excited. I'm excited to put this back on. Do we get a... No, we don't get a reversible sleeve from this. We don't. It's the black cases of these Second Sight movies that do it for me. They're really, really nice. They're really, really nice, those black cases. Okay. Next up, and penultimately, before we get... I mean, what we have last is... No, I'm not going to speak about what we have last yet. I'm going to give respect to this movie, which is another movie that I watched for the first time last year, and actually only comes from the year after all those movies. This is 1980. It is The Changeling with George C. Scott, which is, oh my god, such another brilliant haunted house movie. Also, is it a haunted house movie? The house is weird mystery horror movie, which is what it is. There's a bit of ghostliness, a bit of supernaturalness, a bit of George C. Scott going, what's going on? What's going on? Let's not go in the attic. And just brilliance. I love this movie again. I loved it last year when I watched it for the first time. This one did have a reversible sleeve. I actually chose to go with this, which I think is the original poster, as opposed to actually the design that's on the disc there, if you can see that, which is kind of greenish. So that's kind of, imagine that. I might get it out actually. So it's like that. So I chose to go with that instead, which I think these, I mean, both are pretty great here, I think. But that one's quite striking, I think. Which is why I kind of like that. But The Changeling is a great, great movie. I will read the back. And I may very well just put this one on again as well in the next few weeks. I think I should. I really think I should. We should be spending a hell of a lot of time watching horror movies in mid to late October anyway, shouldn't we? That's the only sensible thing to do. Following the tragic death of his wife and daughter in a car crash, composer John Russell leaves the city and retires to an old mansion in the hope of rebuilding his life. However, the peace and quiet he craves is soon disturbed. Unexplained noises are just the beginning. Convinced there is a supernatural presence in the house, he enlists the help of a local historian. What they uncover is more shocking than he could ever have imagined. This chilling ghost story is one of the most highly acclaimed horror movies of all time. It is a brilliant, brilliant supernatural horror movie. It fits in with the group of 70s supernatural, the house is weird horror movies. Even though it's 1980, it still falls into that era. It's still a great inclusion into that particular era. Bonus features here: brand new 4K scan and restoration audio commentary with the director Peter Medak and producer Joel B. Michaels, moderated by Severin Films' David Gregory. The House on Cheeseman Park, the haunting true story of the Changeling. Ooh. The music of the Changeling, interview with music arranger Kenneth Wanberg. Building the House of Horror, interview with art director Ruben Freed. The Psychotronic Tourist, the Changeling. What's the Psychotronic Tourist? Is that some sort of series of feature videos? Master of Horror Mick Garris on the Changeling, a trailer, a TV spot, and new English subtitles for the hearing impaired. Lovely, lovely, lovely. The Changeling. Yes. 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 Lastly, for part one, we have a double set, a lovely box. It's limited edition. It's a couple of movies that, yes, they've been taking over It's a Wonderful Podcast and all things It's a Wonderful Podcast for a little bit now. It opened the main show in October. It was the first main show of October. It took over Janine and my lives for a little while. And when I realised that when we were watching those movies for the opening October episode of It's a Wonderful Podcast, the main show, when I realised that there was this Blu Ray, this limited edition double feature Blu Ray set of these two movies, I couldn't think about getting anything else. I had to. I just had to. I have such a love and fondness for these movies now. I just can't drag myself away. Give me all the rats. Give me all the rats, because this is a limited edition Willard and Ben series. It's Willard and Ben. Willard 1971, Ben 1972. Just if you haven't, go and listen to the Willard and Ben retrospective on It's a Wonderful Podcast. All major podcast feeds, as usual. You can find the It's a Wonderful Podcast feed anywhere. All major podcast platforms, I should say. But the main show, where we celebrate old movies, we show love to them, we discover new ones. This was certainly a discovery. And, you know, Janine and I kind of loved every second of recording and getting into and delving into these weird rat movies, that I had to get this thing. I think there's only like 2,000 of these. I just had to get it. The box is so nice. The artwork's just lovely. I mean, I can't describe to you how nice this looks. The camera is just so bad when it comes to doing this justice. It is beautiful. It's a hefty thing. It's not like the best for the features, and I just think that's because these two movies are not like as famous as quite as those others that we've just gone through from Second Sight. But all I will say I'm not going to talk about Willard and Ben. They're weird rat horror movies, and please just go and listen to the episode. It was such a good episode. I really had fun with it. It's one of my favourite episodes we've ever done. But the bonus features for Willard, they're 4K. It's a 4K scan. You get an audio commentary with Bruce Davison, which is just great, because obviously he plays Willard. an interview with Bruce Davison as well, the theatrical trailer, which we did a trailer reaction to on this YouTube channel. Please go and watch that if you haven't. The trailer for Willard is so good. It's an unbelievable 70s horror trailer. You get a TV spot, radio spots, and a stills gallery for Willard. Again, these are early 70s. This is 1971. Willard Ben is 1972. Its sequel. I'm not going to sing the song again. I sung the song at the start of the episode of the main show. If anybody wants to hear me try and sing Michael Jackson's Ben. Bonus features you get for Ben, it's an HD transfer, full HD transfer and restoration using the best surviving archive print. Audio commentary with Lee Montgomery, who plays Daniel in Ben, because Ben is, of course, the rat. Yes, the rat, which is just great. Interview with Lee Montgomery as well. They're really focusing on their leads here. Theatrical trailer, teaser trailer, TV spots, a Willard and Ben double feature trailer and TV spot, radio spots, and a stills gallery. But let's open up the box, because they're individual sets. There's Willard with its just beautiful poster with Ben the rat there looking so unbelievably terrifying. I love it so much. This is Willard and his friend Ben. Ben will do anything for Willard. He certainly will. And then he just has the features on the back and a little thing. So nice. And Ben, a poster for Ben. There is Ben. Where Willard ended, Ben begins. And this time he's not alone. No, he isn't. Look at the army of rats he has behind him. And then again, just the back is the same as Willard there. So you get them separately as well, but they will certainly be staying in that beautiful box. But not only that, I am now the proud owner of a fantastic Willard and Ben poster, which is the exact same as the artwork from the front of the box, but looks so nice, and it's quite surprisingly large. I mean, it's not huge, but it's really quite, it's a good size poster. It is a good size poster, and I cannot wait to frame this and put this somewhere. It's so nice. It's just the best. It's just the best. If there's one thing I just want to tell everybody about this horror season, this October, it's just go and watch Willard and Ben. You'll have a great time. They're so great. They're obviously serious movies, but they're the type of serious stupidity that you just completely get behind, because it's weird and it's from the early 70s, and it is a vibe, as some people would say. It is a complete vibe. And I am here for that vibe. And I am here for that poster. There is the inside. All it's missing, I think, is a booklet. All it's missing is booklet. If it had a booklet, it would be absolutely outstanding as a limited edition set. But, obviously, because they are not massive kind of famous movies, really well-known, really well-revered movies, I can forgive it, because they've given me that great poster. They've given me a good few nice special features and this lovely box. And it was not expensive. I think this was like £22 for a limited edition double feature. It's really quite good. So, yes, there we go. Part 1 of Morgan's Movie Collection Horror Edition 2022. Part 2 coming soon. I hope in about a week, if not within the week. I would like to think so. Certainly, before the last week of October. Certainly before the last week of October. It'll be about the same. It'll be about the same in, I think, 9 9, 10 movies. Because it really was a big haul that I got in at the start of this month. But there we go. Bunch of great horror movies. I'm so excited. I really, really am. They are great SecondSight movies, SecondSight Films, Blu Rays, and those 88 Films Slasher Classics collection, couple of those as well. Anyway, subscribe, ding the notification bells on this YouTube channel for more stuff like this, the movie reviews, the trailer reactions, or the retro trailer reactions, we should say. Monday Madness in full glory video every single week. Watch-alongs, live discussions, whole bunch of other stuff we have here on this YouTube channel as well. And of course, like I said before, find the It's a Wonderful podcast feed on all major podcast platforms for Monday Madness on Mondays, Morgan Hasn't Seen on Wednesdays, and the main show, It's a Wonderful Podcast, on Fridays. And go and listen to that Willard and Ben episode. It was so good. So good. Patreon link, donation link are down in the description if you are feeling particularly generous, as well as our social media stuff is down there too. Until next time, let's go and watch some of them. Let's go and watch some of them. Yes, we're excited. Bye, guys.